Hello. Hi, everybody that's joining me today. Hi, replay viewers. In case you guys don't know who I am, my name is Seida Hood, and I own From the Heart Counseling in St. Charles, Illinois. I help angry, aggressive teens and teens who've been through trauma and frustrated parents. And I keep trying to do this scope and I keep getting cut off, so let's try it again and see what we come up with. So, I wrote a blog post called How to Help Motherless Sons, or the future of motherless sons, excuse me. And the week before, I wrote a post on the future of fatherless daughters. And so I wanted to talk a little bit more about that on this scope. So, first thing first, you're probably wondering, okay, does a motherless son or a fatherless daughter necessarily mean that the parent is dead? No, it does not mean that. It could just be an absentee parent, or somebody that just doesn't have a father figure or a mother figure in their life. And so often, people find it hard. You know, it's hard. It's tough work working with aggressive kids or angry kids. So head on over to the blog, tap the link in the bio to read it, and check out the article. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment, share if you think it's helpful, and I'm just going to get right into the scope. So, how to help a motherless son. First of all, we got to stop sending them off. And I know it's like, what? That's your first thing to say? Yes, it is, because we are sending them off. I wrote out some notes to help keep me on track, but we're sending them off by letting them know that emotions that they feel are not real or not valid. And we got to stop doing that, because expression of emotion is not bad. Expression of emotion is human. We all feel pain. We all feel sadness. We all feel joy. Yet if a young man starts to deal with sadness and maybe starts to cry, society is a little bit tougher on him. And so we got to stop doing that, number one. Number two, when they do express themselves, we have to be open to listening to them. And I mean really listening. Listening for how we can help. Listening for what the real issue is, the real problem is. Because a lot of times you might hear them upset that somebody dropped the pizza on the ground, but really dropping the pizza on the ground is like surface level issues, and the real need is, okay, they're so involved and ready to head to this event, so they focused on this pizza instead of wanting to spend time with me. But the only way that you can get to that answer is if you uncover the layers. I talk about these layers all the time. You can only get to the real need if you're listening really genuinely and you are in that moment with the team. And being in that moment means, obviously, we're not texting during that time. We're not like half focusing on something else, but really engaging in a conversation with that team to let them know, hey, I'm listening to you. I care. You matter. I'm really trying to help you right now. So that's 2. 3, understand that a motherless teen boy is going to be very sensitive. And I know the people are like, what? How could he be aggressive and sensitive at the same time? Well, an aggressive action is suppressed emotion. And so what does that mean? That means an aggressive action is really just a symptom that I'm covering up. I'm using this to cover up my pain. So I might be mad and upset and punch, but that's because I don't know what else to do. I don't know how else to communicate to you, hey, I'm hurting. There's a need here that's not being filled. And I need you to help me fill it, or somebody to help me fill it. We know that the brain is not really developed until about age 25, science says, right? And so if that's the case, they don't know how to properly express themselves just yet. And So that's suppressed emotion. If you think about like even a toddler, when they throw tantrums, they can't communicate what they need. They're in the store, they heard the word no, and so they start to react. Their body is reacting in a normal way because they can't verbally express that to you. They can't verbally express, Mom, I'm disappointed. I really wanted that toy. Dad, that hurt my feelings that you said no. So they do what they know to do and what's normal for their development. Trust the process. That's the next step. I have so many parents that come to me after their child starts counseling and they're like, okay, well, what's going on? I mean, I brought them to counseling and nothing is different. Nothing is changing. If anything, they are even more disrespectful. They're cursing me out more. They are stealing money from my purse more. Trust the process. In counseling, things get worse before they get better. Changing behaviors that make you feel safe is really hard. If you are used to fighting for what you want or fighting instead of expressing yourself verbally, it's going to be really hard to switch over to now let me use my words here. It's just like a person who's going on a diet. They're used to eating whatever they want. Burger King, Wendy's, McDonald's, snacks, chips, cookies, any kind of way, and most often emotional eating. And so then when they go on a diet, it's really, really hard to stick to that diet because this is what I'm used to. This is what makes me feel better. This is the taste that I have acquired that helps me to relieve this emotional symptom. And so we got to keep that in mind when we're dealing with teens in general, but then motherless sons. I like to use this phrase, getting in the trenches with them. And so getting in the trenches is really hard. When you think about a war or just movies with trenches in general, the trench is nasty. It's disgusting. It's got puddles in there. People use the bathroom in the trenches. All kinds of stuff in the trenches. The trenches is ugly. Like, it is nothing that's beautiful, honestly, in the trenches. But the trenches is how you get to the other side. Going in the trenches is how you help press through to the other side. This is the part where so many people want to help, but then when stuff gets real, it's like, whoa, I can't handle that. I gotta step out. I'm not down for the cause. So we gotta be prepared to know that this is part of the process. Going through the ugly, hard part of the process, the painful part of the process where things stink, where it's hard to really express yourself, that's normal. That's gonna happen before you get to what you really want to see. But the best part about the trenches is that is where the transformation takes place. That's where you see layers peel back. That's where the light bulb comes on for the teen. That's where you see them really start to have hope and realize, wow, regardless of what I started, like, I can be that. I can do that. Wait, for me? Yes, for you. So it's going to take some pushing, some fighting, some support, and you're going to fall back a couple of times, but the trenches is where you see the beauty from the brokenness, the beauty from the ashes. That's where you see the resiliency demonstrated, honestly. And so as I ended, what are some ways that you guys help support motherless sons? And I'm asking because you're on the front lines. Some of you guys are in the trenches. Some of you might be going through that ugly part, that part where you got to press through. How do you help motherless sons, teens, get through the trenches? How do you help them push through that? And so, again, my name is Seida Hood. I own From the Heart Counseling in St. Charles, Illinois. If you have a daughter, I want you to visit the website. I just started group for girls, for teen girls, is called Spark, helping to empower girls to reach their full potential and live fearlessly. Visit the site for more info on that. And if you guys have any questions or anything, I will be glad to answer them if you guys email me or shoot me a message on the site through the contact form. Thank you. Bye, everybody that was live. Bye, replay viewers. Thank you. Good night.